All right, so today we're doing something a little different. Like, you know how they say if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
Hmm.
We're going to put that to the test. We're going deep on a single Glassdoor review.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, and just one. It's from a former Virgin Media technician in London, and let me tell you, this isn't just some, my boss was mean kind of review. This thing it's got layers.
Yeah, I'm intrigued. Lay it on me.
So, picture this. Good salary, benefits that even throw in a company car. London, baby. Driving around in style. Who wouldn't want that, right?
Yeah, those perks definitely turn heads, especially these days. I almost wonder what the catch is.
Exactly. And oh boy, is there a catch.
Yeah.
Our guy, he talks about the training, or lack thereof, I should say, like being thrown in the deep end without knowing how to swim.
Oof, that's rough. Not exactly the supportive onboarding you'd hope for with a gig like that.
Right. And that whole sink or swim mentality, I mean, does it actually work?
I'm skeptical. For some roles, sure, maybe a little on-the-job learning is expected, but to just be thrown in, that screams of a company prioritizing filling positions over, well, actually training their employees.
And speaking of being thrown in, let's talk about this whole 4-day work week because, well,
Something tells me there's more to this.
oh, yeah. Big time. See, they advertise this awesome 4-day work week, but then, bam, mandatory overtime.
Hold on, wait. So they're promising a shorter week, but then piling on extra hours.
You got it. And not just a little overtime here and there, enough to completely negate the whole 3-day weekend thing.
Wow, talk about misleading. It makes you wonder what the company culture is truly like.
Right. And it gets wilder. I mean, like, way worse. This technician, he's basically told to work through breaks, like grabbing lunch while driving between jobs.
Seriously, that's not only ridiculous, it's incredibly dangerous. Probably illegal, right?
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
talk about a recipe for disaster. And this all ties back to, get this, an overseas routing team.
Wait, what? An overseas team is dictating the schedule for a technician in London.
Yep. They're the ones making last-minute changes, causing all this overtime chaos.
See, this is a perfect example of what I was saying earlier. Companies trying to streamline, going global, automating left and right, but it ends up backfiring. They lose that human touch, that understanding of, actual on-the-ground realities.
Totally. And as if all that wasn't bad enough, get this, technicians are expected to push sales.
No way, really.
Yeah. I mean, talk about a completely different skill set. Fixing cables and, like, closing deals. Those are two totally different worlds.
It's wild, right? This whole everyone's in sales mentality is getting out of hand. I get it. Businesses want to maximize profits, but at what cost? You start putting that kind of pressure on employees who are already stretched thin, it's a recipe for burnout.
And a recipe for unhappy customers, too. Like, hey, while I'm fixing your internet, want to buy some new cable package? No? Okay, cool. I mean, come on.
Exactly. It just creates this weird, inauthentic interaction.
It's so jarring. And speaking of jarring, let's talk about the work environment itself. He described it as, and I quote, kiss up, kick down.
Oof. Yeah, that's never good. Sounds toxic.
Right. And sadly, I think it's more common than we realize.
Oh, absolutely. That whole culture of, throwing coworkers under the bus to get ahead, it just breeds negativity, kills teamwork, destroys morale. Nobody wins in that situation.
Exactly. And to add insult to injury, he talks about these mandatory driving safety modules, which, okay, great, safety first.
Right, sounds responsible.
But then he's pressured to take calls while driving.
Wait, what? They're telling him to do the exact opposite of what they're training him on.
You got it. I mean, come on. That's just hypocrisy at its finest.
It's such a contradiction. This poor guy's getting pulled in a million different directions. It makes you really question the company's priorities. Like, what do they actually value?
It's a total mess. Honestly, going through this one Glassdoor review felt less like reading and more like uncovering this whole hidden truth about the modern workplace.
Absolutely. And honestly, it's a good reminder for everyone out there. A good salary and fancy perks, they're tempting, I get it. But they don't always paint the whole picture. You got to look deeper. You think about the company culture, the work-life balance. Are they treating their employees right? Those things matter in the long run.
Preach. It's about finding a job that aligns with you, with your values. Something to think about. Until next time.